Welcome, welcome, welcome. Greetings and salutations, everyone. I'm Tammy Dunbar, and we are live from NCCE. And I'm super excited today because I get to put on my OneNote cape in celebration of having the amazing principal group product manager, Mike Tholfsen. You know him from all of his social media. Oh, my stars, 1.2 million followers on TikTok. Mike, you're my hero, not just in social media, but oh my stars, I'm so excited with Microsoft Teams. You've got to tell us all the exciting things about Microsoft Teams that we don't know about. Some we do. Thanks for being here.
Yes. Hey, thanks for having me, Tammy. And it's great to be hanging out with you. You know, you and I go way back many years, many OneNote capes, many conferences, many PD sessions. So yeah, you are awesome, and thank you for being an amazing educator because you are for sure. And so, actually, by the way, many of us on the Microsoft education team over the years have been like, I wish I could go back in time and have Tammy Dunbar as my teacher. That's been said many times.
Oh, pshaw. Thank you. You're too kind. But part of all of us being better educators is having the right tools. So please impart your wisdom upon us.
Yes, well, thank you. So, hey everyone, I work on the Microsoft education team, as Tammy said, and I help build a lot of these products. But I also, especially during the pandemic, have been trying to help teachers learn how to use our products in typically micro-sized learning or at least short-sized learning. And I've got a bunch of stuff that I want to show you today, and hopefully on Teams in particular, and reading progress and tips and tricks. So what I'm going to do is now, before I get into that, what I'm going to do briefly, and it won't be too long, but I want to make sure people know all the places, all these videos and tips are posted all over the place on all these different social media channels, kind of depending on which platform you like. And I've been expanding during the pandemic, including TikTok. And what I'm going to do now is briefly just show all the different places you can find me. And then I'll get going into the demo. So this is tips and tricks. Start with my email. Hey, anytime you want to email me, it's right there. I have a YouTube channel that has, these are where the little bit longer videos are, maybe 5 minutes or 25 tips and tricks all at once. So the YouTube channel I started during the pandemic. As Tammy mentioned, my TikTok channel has actually gotten very popular during the pandemic. Was not a planned thing, especially for a gray-haired guy. So I post little short micro learning 20, 30-second tips on TikTok. I also am on Twitter. That's been my longest social media platform. And I post a lot of those same tips on Twitter as well. So there's a Twitter handle. I've been experimenting with Instagram as well, which this is just short little videos, the same ones on TikTok. I'll now start posting on Instagram. So if you're afraid of TikTok, but you're on Instagram and you want to see the videos there and the tips, that's another place. I've also been experimenting with Pinterest. I was telling Tammy, I hired my 13-year-old daughter to download each of my TikTok videos and then upload them into Pinterest because some people are afraid of TikTok. So all these same tips organized by product, a lot of them are on Pinterest. And then if you want to reach out on LinkedIn, I post some of my videos there. So lots of different places to find some of the stuff that you're going to see today. Obviously, I can't go through all the hundreds of tips, but I'm going to try to get through as many as I can. And so with that, let's jump into Teams. Now, the first one I want to talk about is the Reading Progress app. And so this is one where, actually, I think my Reading Progress one, let me make sure I get to the right place. So Reading Progress is in Microsoft Teams, and it is our reading fluency app. And my team actually, I personally worked really closely on this for a couple of years. And the idea is, how can we make Teams assignments to let students read out loud and do reading passages? And so this is a process that is usually very time consuming for the educator. Students don't like doing it because they feel stigmatized. How do you gather data and insights? All those things. And we've made that super easy through Teams. So if I go to assignments right here, I'm in a class team, 4th grade class, and I'm going to do at the bottom, create an assignment. And so what I'm going to do here is give it a title. So I'll just call this, reading fluency, and give me a nice title there. And then I'm going to do something like, the instructions might just be something like, please read this. You can give more instructions. But the key part is clicking attach right here and choosing reading progress. And that's our new app. So I choose this, and this is that's going to let me, here's my little getting started. Hey, welcome to Reading Progress. You can upload a passage. So one of the new tips and features is we've actually recently made it so you can pick from an existing teams. Maybe you've got a site where all your fifth grade teachers in a PLC share their reading passages. You can choose from OneDrive, or you can upload from the device. Another option is you can browse a sample library. And so in this case, maybe I'll go and browse a sample library. It's from ReadWorks. So if you've never seen that, we have a bunch of free ReadWorks passages. So if I go to fourth grade and maybe I want to have electricity and energy, that looks like a good passage. Select this one and choose it. Now it pulls it right into this reading progress dialog. And I can choose a different passage. If I don't like this one, there's the reading level. You can choose number of attempts. So maybe I say 5 attempts. Another thing we've recently added is the time limit. So maybe I want to set it for a 3-minute time limit on reading this. And then pronunciation sensitivity is how sensitive do you want the AI to be, or the auto detect. I call this the picky dial. Maybe you have first graders and you say less sensitive. Maybe you have more experienced readers, you say more sensitive, or you leave it at default. And then we'll leave require video on and hit next. Now, what's going to happen is this will attach this right to that team's assignment. And now what you can do is assign this out to your students. The other thing that I'm not going to show the actual student reading out loud, because I have my video camera going right now for StreamYard. And what happens is it can't switch video cameras since I'm on StreamYard. So I'll click assign here. But what I'll show you is a student that already recorded their passage. So what happens is the student gets the assignment, they open it up, and it's kind of like Flipgrid. It audio and video records them, but it shows that passage to the student, and they read it out loud just like they do with the fluency check. But what I'm going to show now is a student that already read a passage in reading progress, and they turned it in, and I'll show you what that looks like. So in this case, I'm going to open up geography, and Ashley Kozak has already done her reading progress passage, and she read a passage all about geography. So what you see now is in the speed grader, we automatically detect words per minute, accuracy rate, mispronunciations, insertions, omissions, repetitions, etc. And this is all automatically detected. And so I can turn that, I can turn the auto preview on, or I can turn it off. Now, what's nice is I can hit the video here and it'll play. So you can listen to her reading out loud.
The study of Earth's landforms is...
And so if I want to go down here, for example, I click on region, and you can see I have all these choices. So I can tweak it myself. I can say jump to word. So she mispronounced region instead of region, and you can see that it marked it as mispronounced. Now, another thing that we've recently added, a new tip, is you can insert words. Let's say down here that she actually said a word and you want to edit the text. So you can insert a word. So here, I'll just put in test. Sometimes the student said a word that you're like, oh, they actually said test. So that's a tip, is that you can insert and edit text just like that. I can remove the word, so you can tweak that yourself. Another thing that is really nice as a tip that not a lot of teachers know about is this new return report to student. What this means is now if I click edit, I can show what type of reading progress report goes back to the student. I can choose a full report or a simplified report. Some students, we don't want to overwhelm them with all the numbers and accuracy and words per minute. So you can say, show them a simplified report. Now, when I hit save here, it'll return them a report that doesn't have all the same data. So if I click save, when they get that report back, they won't see the words per minute or the accuracy rate. So that's really helpful. And we're just about to roll out a customization, so you'll even be able to customize the report that goes back to the student. Now, the last thing I'll show with reading progress for some of the tips is, one is there's an actual link to Insights right here. So you can go into the full Insights, but if I click Insights, it'll actually pull up a nice little Insights chart right for the student right there. But I'm going to drill in and show the full Insights. So I'm going to close this, and I'm going to click right here on Insights. And every class team has this. What's really nice is now I can get insights for my whole class on how they're reading. So in the lower right, you see reading progress. So I click here, and it's going to drill me into Insights. So now I can see the average words per minute for the class, the average accuracy rate, the number of assignments. I can filter on genre. I can filter on time. So I can do last 7 days, previous month, You can do all sorts of date filtering. And then you have accuracy rate. So here's mispronunciations and omissions. And you can see as I hover over each reading, I can see, oh, across my class, here's the number of mispronunciations that were happening. I can also search for an individual student. So maybe I want to filter on Alex Wilbur. Now it's going to redraw and filter just for Alex. So he's reading a little bit faster. I can scroll down and see average words per minute. I can see accuracy rate comparing Alex to the rest of the class. I even get a challenging word cloud. So I can see the number of words that are mispronounced per student. So in this case, I can see that Alex had challenges with accompaniment and enhance and aspect. If I want to see the whole class, I clear that and I can scroll down and see the word cloud redraw, and I can see individual students across the class. So as you can see here, this is really powerful reading insights. They're built in, they're free, they're available today. You don't have to do anything special. And I would encourage you to check out some of these insights and explore. Now, I'm going to show a couple of other tips of things that have recently rolled out inside of Teams. So I'm going to go back here and we're going to go into assignments. Something that rolled out in the last couple of months is the ability to add apps. So in this case, actually, I'm going to switch over to a different team here. I'm going to go back to, let me see, all teams. And let's go into fourth grade again. So I'm in assignments here, and I'm going to create a new assignment at the bottom. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add an app. So we've added custom apps for assignments. So if I click apps, you'll see some of your very favorite apps, including Flipgrid, Kahoot, Nearpod, Buncee. There's a bunch of more EdTech apps that you can add, Pear Deck. But in this case, I want to attach a Flipgrid assignment app that I push out to my class. So if I click Flipgrid, it says, hey, enter a join code or a Flipgrid URL. And I happen to have one right here, our MI Expert Showcase one, which is a great one. I bet Tammy's in here somewhere. And if I go back, I'm just going to paste that URL, and it finds this Flipgrid. So I say click save, and I'm going to add it. So now it has attached this Flipgrid, and I can give this to my class and say, add your Flipgrid into this group, and it's part of the assignment. And just to show what it looks like, it actually renders that whole Flipgrid group right there. It's built right in. So it's super cool. And now I can give the instructions like, record your video and add it to that Flipgrid. So now you can even add rubrics. You can do all those same things that you might normally do with an assignment, but now I've added Flipgrid as an app. So custom apps is a really great new tip that not a lot of people know about. Now, in addition, I'm going to remove this. I can go and hit new. We've added video recording to assignments. So as a teacher, if you want to give video instructions, here's a great way. Click video recording, and here's my camera. I can record, countdown. Hey kids, here's a great way to do your assignment. Here's a video recording where I explain everything. Hit review. You can trim it. So if you're like too long, too short, very easy to do, and hit publish. And here I can just say, here's my video instructions, and hit upload. So now what it does is it's going to upload and attach this video right to the assignment. Just like we did a Flipgrid, now it's got video instructions. So when the student gets that, they can open up and watch that video. So that is another really cool one. And students can record and add video on their end as well. So it makes that video component as part of the assignments. And I'm going to remove this one. The last one I can show is whiteboard as a type. So now I can go and choose to add new whiteboard, and it'll let me give it a whiteboard. Again, maybe this is collab space, like maybe they're going to work on a collaboration project together. Hit done. And if you hear my dog in the background, this is COVID times, and he's woofing, so you'll have to forgive him. Hit the three-dot menu and say students can edit their own copy. And now I can make that whiteboard assignment and assign that out. So whiteboards are now part of assignments. And so that is really nice to be able to add the whiteboards in there. So those are a few tips that not a lot of people know about, but I think they're good to make sure you knew these came out in the last couple of months. Another tip for assignments, since we're here in assignments, is we have the ability to add assignments to calendars. So if your students have an Outlook calendar, I can say, add this assignment to the student's calendar, add it to the students and me, or even add it to the students and team owners. Like if you have a substitute teacher or a co-teacher, but we'll just say, add this to the student's calendar. And now this will be always added right into their calendar. So this assignment and the due date will show up right in their Outlook calendar. So that one is super handy. And then the other one is if you want to have something with scheduling your assignments, if you've never scheduled an assignment, well, I encourage you, now you can. So now you can be like, hey, Saturday afternoon, I'm going to get all the assignments scheduled for the whole week and all their due dates. I'm like, hey, this one is due on Tuesday, and the post date and the post time. So you can customize all the when it goes out and when it's due, and you can schedule that ahead. You can even schedule out the closing date. So if you've never clicked this little edit button, this is how you can very easily schedule for the future and then not have to worry about it. And that assignment can go out, at 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. or midnight, whenever you want it to. So those are ones that are great in terms of assignments. 2 brand new tips for assignments that we just literally are rolling out into our TAP beta customers now. They should roll globally in the next few weeks. One is you can control notifications right here in that 3-dot menu. So if I go to 3-dot menu in the upper right, I'm a teacher, and I choose settings, under notifications, there is a new assignment. So a lot of teachers said, can I control all the dinging that happens and what happens in my activity feed and everything else? Well, now if you go to edit on this assignment, you can do things like, hey, don't ever ding me after it's published. Maybe I don't want to know. Or when it's modified, like only show it in the feed. Don't give me a banner notification. When it fails, I don't want to know. You can basically, even when who returns it, all these things are going to be now controllable by you as a teacher. So you can set how much notification you want. And so again, that is in the 3-dot menu in the upper right under settings. When you go to notifications, there's a new option for assignments. So if you're a teacher, this one will show up. So this is a really, really popular one that we've had. The other one that is quite cool is being able to turn in on behalf of students. So this is a brand new one, new tip. It's coming out right now. It's rolling out now. And that is, let's say I had a student who was working on an assignment and either maybe they forgot to turn it in, maybe they got sick, maybe they had an accident and they're in the hospital and they have an assignment and you're like, I want to be able to turn that in on behalf of the student because I know they can't get to it. So here's an example, Amazon Rainforest. And I see Alex Wilbur, he's viewed the assignment right at the bottom here, but he never turned it in. So let's say I go to Alex here and I look in and I see that, he's added his assignment. He did the paper. He just forgot to turn it in. So what I can do is take action in the student view. What that means is turn in on behalf of student. If I click take action, you are viewing the assignment as Alex Wilbur. So I can basically turn this in on his behalf. So as a teacher now, I can click turn in. Great. It's all turned in now. Now when I go back, I can go back into that speed grader and I can pull that up, hit back, and now it's updating permissions. And basically Alex has now turned in by the teacher. See how it has a little checkbox, turned in by the teacher. So now I can see, great job. And, I can return that to him. So turn in on behalf of student is a brand new Teams assignments tip that recently rolled out. So that's pretty cool one. Next couple tips are in core teams. And these are sort of some, I'll call them some underknowns. They're things that exist, but you might not know about them, and they're super handy. My very favorite one is, what are all the cool keyboard shortcuts? That's one of my favorite time savers. If you do control plus period, it brings up all of the killer team shortcuts. Control /, control G, start a new chat, control N, a bunch of stuff in here about, even opening settings, control comma. Did you know that one? How to zoom in, how to go to search. I use the go to search one, control E, all the time. So here's an example. Control comma brings up settings. Remember we talked about settings with notifications. That's a great one. Another one is control E takes you up to the search box up top. Another one of my favorites, control period opens up all the shortcuts. If you hit the / here in the search bar, all these nice little tips on /chat to send a quick message to someone. Or if you want to say, set my status to busy, /busy, hit that and hit enter. Your status is being set to busy. Look at that. Now my status shows as busy. I didn't have to go up here and click this and drop it and do all that stuff. So you can do these really nice short ones. I want /status to away. Your status is being set to away. So that / is a great one. There's all kinds of cool stuff like /chat to send a message to someone. That's pretty cool. /find. Go explore this. Tons of good tips to check out there. Let's see. Another one is there were some big improvements to search. So how do you search inside of Teams? So if I go up here and I search for TPS and I hit enter, we've redone the search here. So now instead of being all on the right side, see how this is in the middle? So we redid search. You have top results. You can drop that down and see latest results. You can go by messages. And now I get all these great filters like chat versus channel. So if I just want to look at all the channel stuff, I sort like this. I can say from for a person, looking for @mentions. There's none there. Maybe which ones have an attachment. And then if I go here, I can click go to message. So we redid search and made it way more effective in taking the whole screen up. Because before it was kind of jammed over on the right. Hit go to message. And now I can go right to that message. So the new search is pretty cool. Another one we have is pinning a chat. So if I have a message here, here's a group chat, and I want to pin a message to the top. See, I've done that right here. I already pinned this one earlier. I'm going to go here and choose unpin. So if you're in a group chat with a bunch of people, maybe you want to pin a certain message. I'll go here and say 3-dot menu and then pin. And that's going to pin this message to the chat. So see, it has pin up above. So now everyone in that group chat will always see that up there. And if I've scrolled down farther and I'm like, oh, what's this message that Mike pinned? I click it and it jumps me right to where that message is. So pinning a group chat, something that's important, really handy to pin that up to the top. And I use that one quite a bit in my work. Those are some of my favorite new updates. There's some in Teams meetings that I can't quite show because my video camera, again, will conflict with StreamYard because my video is going. But I will say that on my YouTube channel, I just posted a bunch of updates for Teams meetings. So things like order of hands raised, who's raising what hand when, like the ordering 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for teachers. That's been a top request to see what kids have been ordering the hand raise. That has fully rolled out, and I've got a YouTube channel video that shows it. Another one is being able to hide your own video. I know if you're like me, like having your video in Teams always there is kind of distracting. You can actually now hit the 3-dot menu on your video and say hide my video. So it just goes away from your own view. It doesn't hide it from other people, but instead of like distracting yourself, there's research on that actually shows people get highly distracted and sort of mentally just stressed by having their video staring back at them all the time. So that one is fully rolled out. That one's on my YouTube channel. Now, what I'm also going to do, because now for those of you that are fans of OneNote, Tammy's got her cape on. For this next section, I'm going to show a couple of OneNote tips as well, some new things in OneNote. So I'm going to put on my OneNote cape for that. And for some of you have seen this. The mother of a teacher I know made a custom OneNote mask. I won't wear this the whole time, but I think it's pretty cool. Check this out. A beautiful, nicely textured purple OneNote mask to go with the purple cape. You gotta love that, right? So I thought I'd show that in honor of Tammy wearing her OneNote cape. So I'm going to go into the desktop version of OneNote. Now, for those of you that don't know, desktop OneNote has been rejuvenated. We brought it back from the dead. It is up and running again. And there's some really cool new features. If you have Office 365 and you get the latest updates, we're starting to roll out some top requests. For 15 years, people have asked to be able to sort pages in OneNote. And so we've done that. Right here, you can see this little sort. So if I choose sort pages, I can sort alphabetically. So now they're alphabetically sorted on the left-hand side here. I can sort by date created. Hey, look, my most recent page was the NCCE page. I created that one today. Or you can change it, go reverse order. Now that is the newest created is at the bottom and oldest is at the top. Even date modified. Which pages did I touch last? And I can go back to none to go back to normal. So page sorting is a really big one. The other big one that I'm definitely a fan of, if you're on the home tab, go to the view tab. We're just rolling out the immersive reader built into desktop OneNote. So you no longer need that learning tools add-in download that had a really old version that's kind of crusty of the old immersive reader. If I click this, I now get the full, beautiful immersive reader with all the features. So things like
the study of Earth's landforms is called physical geography.
Beautiful voice, all your favorite features in immersive reader are all there, including things like line focus, which didn't used to be there in the old learning tools. Things like picture dictionary. I click on a word, I get a picture.
Valleys.
All the translation. So we have over 110 languages. So if I want to translate into Spanish now in desktop OneNote and then hit read aloud.
El estudio de los accidentes geográficos de la Tierra se llama geografía física.
So the full, beautiful immersive reader is now built right into the desktop version of OneNote. And so that one is rolling out now. And so with that, I think we've got maybe 5 minutes left, Tammy, if I'm not mistaken. I am happy to answer whatever questions that people have.
Fantastic. Well, we have a question about insights, and especially insights with reading progress. Is there a way for parents to be able to see the report without using the student account?
Well, unfortunately, right now, there's not. I'm not saying there never will be, because it's a great question, and we have a lot of requests for that. But right now, we don't have that capability. But there's been a lot of people who have asked, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I usually do screen snaps and send them on to parents
screen
that way.
snaps is the best way for now.
Yeah. But I mean, there's also in Teams there where parents can go if they're in their student accounts and check the grades as well.
Yep.
And I really like that.
Exactly.
Yeah. It would be really cool, said the teacher, if in grades we could sort them by subject, like tag them for language arts, math.
So I will
science.
say this without sharing anything confidential. We are making some big improvements to grading in Teams, as well as sort of assignments, insights, and grades all together. And how can we make that a better experience? So that one we are actively working on.
Ooh, that is very exciting. I also see that Jim Ekrut is talking about how he stopped using the desktop in favor of the Windows OneNote app, but now you've made him want to take another look. Do you have any more? Do you favor the app over the desktop, or what are your opinions on that?
Well, I mean, personally, I've been a fan of desktop because I've used it a long time. But we are bringing a bunch of capabilities back in. We've rejuvenated the desktop app, and we're bringing a bunch of things like we're bringing math tools into it. We're bringing all the modern syncing into it. So we're adding a bunch of really cool stuff back into the desktop app. We're trying to make that one a bit better. So
that is thrilling. Math tools is so valuable. I just had a 6th grade teacher come in and ask me an algebra problem, and I solved it. And he's like, "No, that's not right." And I opened up OneNote, wrote it in, and he's like, "Oh, I guess it's right." So, oh my gosh. Well, we are almost to the end of our time. I don't see any more questions, although Charity's also saying she's going to use the desktop. I agree. I've always loved the desktop. Although I also love OneNote on my phone as well. I mean, I find
I
use
use
that
it
a
on my
lot.
phone all the time. Yeah. That's definitely one.
And Teams on my phone as well to keep in contact with my students.
Yeah, Teams. We are doing some big improvements there for Teams on the phone. I'll put also into the chat, just paste all if you want to get more details and deep dive and quick tips or whatever your platform is, I'm putting out more all the time, and all the latest and greatest updates are there. So definitely check those out and share them too. I've had a lot of teachers say, I love having your videos because then I don't have to spend time making them myself, and I can just share them with the people who need it. So anytime that I can help teachers save time, that's good time spent in my book.
Absolutely. Well, on behalf of all teachers in the world, we want to say thank you. I've known you since about 2015 when we went Microsoft as a district. And I got to say, you and the team are so responsive. Just take a look at all the different social media and all ways you're giving us to be accessible. You model for us how to be accessible and how to be responsive. So you've kind of inspired me to be that way with my parents or my families of my students. So thank you. And there's an old picture of Mike and I.
I love it.
Wow.
Look, you got a cape back on. Woo!
So I have one note for you, Mr. Tholfsen. We are so thrilled that you are on the Microsoft Teams and that you have been here with us today on Live from NCCE. Be sure you reach out and follow Mike all over social media because he's on virtually every platform. And thank you for spending your time with us. The Best Free EdTech PD is Live from NCCE. We'll see you in a month. Thank you again for joining us. And Mike, thank you so much.
Thanks, Tammy. See you, everyone.
Bye, everyone.